Welcome again to Learn TWI, the fun way we treat Junior Pro. My name is Kwesi, and for today's lesson, we have 4 people that needed something translated. And the first person that needed something translated was Afare. Afare, thanks again for your continued support. And these are the things that Afare wanted to know. The first thing that Afare wanted to know was how to say, he is spiteful in Twi, right? Now, if somebody is spiteful, that's somebody who has a bad heart or has an ill intent towards someone, right? So now in Twi, to say that somebody is spiteful, we say, Ɔnni akoma. Now, literally translated, that means the person has a bad heart. Again, Ɔnni akoma, which shows that a person might have an ill intent towards somebody. So again, he is spiteful in Twi is Ɔnni akoma. And the second thing that Afare wanted to know was, he is seeking revenge. And that in Twi can be said as, Wopɛ sɛ otua bɔne suka. Again, Wopɛ sɛ otua bɔne suka. And the next person that wanted something translated was Mujib. Mujib, thanks again for your continued support. Now, Mujib had a long list of things that he wanted to translate. So this is the first thing that Mujib wanted to know. The first thing that Mujib wanted me to translate was, fold it well. Now, that in Twi can be said as Bobɔ yere. Again, Bobɔ yere. And the next thing that Mujib wanted to know was, wait for me, let me quickly fix myself. And that in Twi can be said as, Twɛn nsiesie ntɛm. Again, Twɛn nsiesie ntɛm. And the next thing that Mujib wanted to know was, what is smelling? Now that in Twi can be said as, Ɛdeɛn ɛrebɔn sa. Again, Ɛdeɛn ɛrebɔn sa. And the next thing that Mujib wanted to know was, it's too dirty. Now that can be said in 2 ways. Now the first way of saying it would be, ɛyɛ dodo. Again, ɛyɛ dodo. And the second way of saying it would be, ɛyɛ pii. Again, ɛyɛ pii. And the next thing that Mujib wanted to know was, how to say well done in Twi. Now, well done in Twi is Woayɛ. Again, Woayɛ. One last time, Woayɛ. And the next thing that Mujib wanted to know was, Kwesi has impregnated someone. And that in Twi can be said as, Kwesi ne obi nyim. Again, Kwesi ne obi nyim. And the next thing that Mujib wanted to know was, his wife is tall. And that in Twi can be said in 2 ways. And the first way one can say it is, ne yere wa. Again, ne yere wa. Ne yere is the person's wife. Wa is tall. And the second way one can actually say it is, ne yere ye tenten. Again, ne yere ye tenten. So again, the 2 ways of saying his wife is tall is ne yere wa or ne yere ye tenten. And the next thing that Mujib wanted to know was, do I look like a Ghanaian? And that in Twi can be said as, Mesɛ Ghanani. Again, Mesɛ Ghanani. So Mesɛ in Twi is roughly, do I look like? Then Ghanani is a Ghanaian. So again, do I look like a Ghanaian in Twi is Mesɛ Ghanani. And the next thing that Mujib wanted to know was, it's not for him, he stole it. Now that in Twi can be said as, Ɛnnyɛ owiaae. One last time, Ɛnnyɛ owiaae. And the next thing that Mujib wanted to know was, it has been long they started. And that in Twi can be said as, Wɔhyɛɛ akyɛ. Again, Wɔhyɛɛ akyɛ. And the next thing that Mujib wanted to know was, do you want me to start dancing? And that in Twi can be said as, Wopɛ sesei mehyɛ. Again, Wopɛ sesei mehyɛ. And the next thing that Mujib wanted to know was, who sang that song? And that in Twi can be said as, Hwan na ɔtoo saa nnwom no? Again, Hwan na ɔtoo saa nnwom no? One last time, Hwan na ɔtoo saa nnwom no? And the next thing that Mujib wanted to know was, can you carry it? And that in Twi can be said as Wobe tumi aswa. Again, Wobe tumi aswa. One last time. Wobe tumi aswa. And the next thing that Mujib wanted to know was use the soap to wash her plate. Now that in Twi can be said as Fasamna huhuru ni pletino. Again, Fasamna huhuru ni pletino. So basically, Fasamna is take the soap or use the soap. Huhuru is wash. Ne is that specific person. Then pileti is basically a borrowed word, right? The English borrowed word for plate. So again, Fasamna huhuru ni pletino. And the next thing that Mujib wanted to know was, so Mujib wanted to know the difference between I hear and I understand. And these are the two differences in Twi. Now, I hear in Twi can be said as mate, mate. And I understand is aseɛ. Again, aseɛ. And the next thing that Mujib wanted to know was the difference between boame and moame. Again, boame and moame. So boame is help me or assist me. And moame is actually the negative of help me. So basically, moame is don't help me or don't assist. So again, boame is help me. Moame is don't help me. And the next thing that Mujib wanted to find out was, I am still there. Now, I am still there in Twi is me da so wo ho. Again, me da so wo ho. One last time, me da so wo ho. And the next thing that Mujib wanted to know was, I gave him since yesterday. And that in Twi can be said as, me de mano nura da da da. So, me de mano, basically in English is, I gave it to the person, right? Nura is yesterday. Da 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 literally represents long time ago. So again, me de mano nura da da da. One last time. Me de mano nura da da da. And the next thing that Mujib wanted to know was, how would you touch her hair if you did not like her? Again, that in Twi can be said as, Wube dena unsaka ni triwi emra wumpeno. Again, wube ye den na unsaka ni triwi mera wumpeno. And the next thing that Mujib wanted to know was the difference between kabebi, Woayɛ, or frimu. Again, kabebi, Woayɛ, or frimu. All these three things mean the same thing. All these three things are trying to represent that the person has passed on or has died. So, Woayɛ, frimu, or kabebi basically means the person has passed on. But the two most popular ones of the three is actually kabebi or Woayɛ. So again, they all mean the person has passed on or has died. And the next thing that Mujib wanted to know was how to say, where will I collect the form? And that in Twi can be said as, ehina meji kratano. Again, ehina meji kratano. So ehina is basically where. Meji is will I collect. Krata is paper. No is that specific paper. So again, ehina meji kratano. And the last thing that Mujib wanted to know was, it is the people by the gate that will give you. Now that in Twi can be said as, ɛyɛ nkurɔfoɔ na wɔwɔ ɛpono no or gate no ho na de bɛma wo. Again, slower. Ɛyɛ nkurɔfoɔ na wɔwɔ gate or ɛpono no ho na de bɛma wo. Mujib, thanks again for your continuous support. That was a mouthful, right? So thanks again. I hope it was helpful and I hope everyone benefited. The next person that needed something translated was Josiah. Josiah, thanks again for your continuous support. And these are the things that Josiah wanted to know. The first thing that Josiah wanted to know was, what was still in Twi, or how to say still in Twi. Now, still in Twi is daso. Again, daso. And the sentence that Josiah used was, are you still going shopping? Now, are you still going shopping in Twi can be said as, wodasu beko dream akoto adeɛ. Again, wodasu beko dream akoto adeɛ. So woda so basically in English would be are you still? Beko, going to go. Dream is market. Akɔtɔ adeɛ. It basically literally translated is going to buy things, which in English would be shopping. So again, woda so beko dream akɔtɔ adeɛ. And the last person that needed me to translate something was Jewel. Jewel, thanks again for your continued support. And this is what Jewel wanted to know. We have already passed that road, and that in Twi can be said as Yapa sa kwano ho da da da. Again, Yapa sa kwano ho da da da. So Yapa is basically we've passed. Sa kwano ho is that specific road. Da 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 is basically long time ago. Thanks again, guys. Thanks again for your continuous support. I just want to say thanks to all my old subscribers and my new subscribers. Guys, without you, I wouldn't be here right now. And guys, remember, if you enjoy the content of the channel, please click on the like button, please click on the subscribe button, and please click on the bell button for future notifications. And guys, to learn TWI quicker, right? Please go and get the TWI Junior Pro app. It's on Google Store. With that and this lesson, you learn TWI quicker. And guys, please do remember, do please take care of yourself. From me, Kwesi. Till next time. Bye.